Welcome to the Dear Doc podcast, where we will discuss the business of running a dental practice with a panel of experts. Now, your host, Dr. Christopher Hoffpower.
Hey guys, this is Doc Hoffpower, founder of the Business of Dentistry and host of the Dear Doc podcast. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about one of our sponsors. 4G Dental Labs has been a sponsor of the Business of Dentistry for over 2 years now. They're a family-owned business located here in Houston, Texas. They're fast, they're reliable, but best of all, they provide affordable quality. They're just plain, honest, good people. For our TVOD members, for your first 20 crowns, every fifth one will be free. Contact 4G Dental Labs at 833-682-8901. Again, that's 833-682-8901. Or you can mail or even just stop by. Jeff Guidey, the owner, would be glad to see you. Hey guys, this is Doc Hoffpower coming to you from my studio here in Alvin, Texas. Today we've got a guest. He's a hygienist. He's a CEO of a company named HYGYNE.com, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some of the really innovative products that he's created that are going to be of great use to some of you, especially biological dentists or people who have patients who want something that's a more natural alternative to traditional products. So with no further ado, David Borneve.
Hi, how you guys doing? Thank you for bringing me on the show, Doc.
Absolutely. So David, real quick, usually what we do is we start off by talking a little bit about who you are and what you do for a living before you started your company. This podcast has a lot of interviews with entrepreneurs such as yourself who've started new businesses and might have some tips and stories along the way that you can help others avoid the potholes. So talk to me a little bit about where you came from, David, and walk us through your story into becoming an entrepreneur.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm a little kid, single mom, grew up in a very rough neighborhood in East Oakland, California. And it was one of those things where you either went one way or the other. And I'm glad I went the other. So I pretty much used education to make my way out of, poor neighborhood, a poor upbringing. And when I was 16, I got exposed to a wonderful program in the Bay Area called Eden Area ROP. And this is a regional occupation program. I'm hoping that they still have it. If they don't have these type of programs in your area, you should definitely look into them. So I was able to become a dental assistant while I was in high school. And the great thing about it is if you have these programs for high school students, I don't know about other states, but in the state of California, you can't charge a high school student tuition. So I got a dental assistant certificate for free at the age of 16. So I have a total of about 25 years of experience in the dental field. And 15 years of it was as a hygienist. I still have a active hygiene license, but last year I decided that in order for me to bring this business to the dental field, that I could not continue to work clinically. So last November is when I retired from clinical work and I came aboard and produced this brand that we have and we're going to be discussing.
Fantastic. And so what kind of a background did you have? Because I've used some of these products; they're really great. What kind of a background did you have that allowed you to develop these products, or did you find someone more on the development side, a chemist, or talk to us about that? Walk us through it.
So I think what kind of the really started is I've been a musician and an artist. And there's something interesting if you've ever put your kids, if anyone has kids and you've gotten your kids into learning a musical instrument, you always start out bad. And then after you put enough time in, you get good. And then I was able to do that on multiple instruments. And then I learned how to sing, and then I learned how to produce records and engineer. And it gave me the patience over years to learn how to work on something until you can develop it. I think without that, I probably would have gave up. Another thing is I was always considered just a nerd. I'm just really, really, really curious. I'm a certified construction project manager. And he's like, why would you get into that in the dental field? Well, I'm just curious. And I have friends that were taking a course. I was like, I'm just going to take it with you guys. I've taken all the real estate courses and I'm not a real estate agent. I've taken all the brokerage courses. So I've always been a person that wanted to continuously educate myself. So I did a lot of reading. And when I went into developing the products, I just studied the best people in the world. And what they did say is that you must start from scratch if you want a great brand. You can't go on white label. You have to start from scratch. And I was like, well, how do you do that? And they were like, exactly. You just have to get out there and figure it out. So I had no help. I had no experience. And I basically started just on the computer Googling, how do you get in touch with these manufacturers? When you get in touch with the manufacturer, how do you figure out who's good or not? And you don't. You actually spend money with them. They send you something that's not great. And then you just fire them later and you try again. It's a lot of trial and error. We're still in a trial and error phase. We're in our second phase of production. And we'll just keep doing trial and error. I think one thing that we have in our company, I always say there's 3 pillars to our company: innovation, innovation, innovation. So I'm just going to keep innovating to give the patients what they were asking for me while they were in my chair the last 15 years.
Got you. Well, I have to say, I met you over at the SmileCon, and
yes, that was a
bit of a happenstance. We just got bumped into each other.
We did outside, yeah.
So I brought some of your products home, and I had my kids try them. My autistic kid did not like them, but he's kind of weird about trying anything new. But my
textures
daughter,
and new things, yeah,
exactly. She pops one into her mouth and she's chewing it. She says, "Dad, this gum tastes like toothpaste." And I said, "That's because it's toothpaste, you goober."
It is.
And so she thought the experience was really cool. And I liked the fact that it really kind of meters how much toothpaste you use, because kids, if you guys have kids, they like to squirt that stuff all over, and it gives you the little pearl size that's recommended by the ADA. I thought that was a really great feature of the product. So while we're talking about that, if you don't mind, I'm going to flip over to your website so people can see what it is that you do.
Cool.
So guys, this is HYGYNE.com, HYGYNE.com. And I'm going to go ahead and pop off the screen here so that so you can see it a little bit better. And you can go online here. You can get all of this great toothpaste. This is the toothpaste we're talking about. Everything is really organic and
plant-based. Yeah.
Everything is plant-based, which is something that I want you to really dive into and talk a little bit about. You guys have a great toothbrush. Let me see where.
Absolutely.
Right here. And heck,
the bamboo brushes were just bad out there. And the thing is that, we understand in the dental field, like, we don't really slander anyone. So I'm not trying to say that the bamboo brushes were bad, but I've developed every product over, requesting my patients share, which was really nice because during the pandemic, they really wanted to share. Before then, people would kind of come in and they would have that, shoot the what type of talk. It wasn't very in depth a lot of times, but I noticed after the pandemic, patients started to really get in depth. There was a lot of things going on. It's kind of, if there's anybody old enough to remember 9/11, sometimes when things happen in our country, it just gives us a reason to kind of group together, share and discuss things. And people were very verbal that they were tired of the dentist and plastic. And so I thought they were kind of joking, and it kept up to where, the patients that I were really tight with, sometimes I'll hand them a toothbrush and they slap my hand. I'm like, what? What are you? Come on, take your brush. And like, I don't want that. It's plastic. And I remember I would say, oh, well, look, we use recycled yogurt cups. And one patient said, does that make it not plastic, David? And then I wanted to hand her the floss. And she was like, that's plastic floss on a plastic spool in a plastic box. And I just stopped. And I was like, okay. I walked her up to the front. This is an office that I was managing the practice. They needed a little bit of help from someone who was experienced. So I said, hey, look, it's simple. Let's go on Henry Schein and let's go on Patterson and let's order some biodegradable options. And they had none.
Yep.
And I thought that was something that we really needed. So I looked at a few developers to maybe we can just go on Amazon. And I realized that the dental field is so big. There's about 212,000 dentists registered in the ADA. Just in the state of California, there's almost 24,000 dental offices. And we need someone that's going to be a dental supplier for us. We can't just go order products off of Amazon and think that's going to be enough for the dental field. We need a catalog, and we need someone that's going to ensure that every time you order a product from our catalog, that it's 100% compostable. We don't use any plastic in our packaging. Most of our products have 0 chemicals in it. The only thing we've added is a sodium fluoride. Other than that, that's it. Everything is 100% plant-based. There's no replacement for a nylon bristle that I would recommend as a hygienist. So we just went with a non-toxic one. We make sure our bristles are non-BPA. And then we have all type of new items coming, like we're going to be replacing your suction tips. We have bamboo ones that are being made right now. And I think it's just real classy for your patients to come in and recognize that some of the armamentarium, like our setups, which is usually heavy in plastic, is starting to be slowly phased out of the dental practice. We have a really big goal. It's going to take us about 3 years to accomplish. But I thought it was really just poor taste for at the end of every visit that you have your clients come and see you, doc, you know, because if they come see you as a hygienist, they're still seeing you as a patient. These are your patients, and collectively all your staff, from the receptionist to us, we pretty much just help you with those patients. At the end of the day, 9.99% of all dentists are recommending plastic. At this point, as your hygienist, I really don't really care what's in the product. It's just you're recommending plastic. So we can't keep saying we're eco-friendly, and then at the end of the day, I hand you a bag of plastic in a plastic bag. It's a horrible calling card.
Right.
And then so I said, let's also switch up the product packaging. And we just went on ahead and said, let's just do it luxurious. Why is biodegradable always left out of classy?
Right.
And I just wanted something classy for the field. I want us to win. I want to
I
be
have
leaders.
to say, I love the way the brush looks. It looks like the bristles are actually firmly in there. I've used
They
the
really are, yeah.
brush before, and I came out with bristles stuck between my teeth.
Stuck in your teeth.
Experience.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you might still get one in there because it is a bamboo brush. It's like they're not locked in melted plastic. So you know, it's just like a hairbrush. Eventually, you will get one of those board bristles to come out. But we really went with a better brush. It costs a little bit more to make. And I think it's one of the best bamboo brushes in the world. And I think it's one of the best manual brushes in the world. Reason why is because I stiffened it up. I realized my patients, when they brush with a manual brush, we know the research takes 4 to 5 minutes for you to remove 70% of biofilm with the manual brush. The other 30% is in between your teeth. You got to get that off with floss. And they're just, nobody's brushing for 5 minutes with the manual brush. I just stiffened up the bristle, you know, and it works. It's not your Sonicare or your electric brush, but it's pretty close for a manual. It feels really good.
So talk to me a little bit about the packaging choices that you made. I really, and I should cover something real quick. Am I in any way being paid to advertise your products or to discuss your company?
No.
Okay.
In the future, if you need to, let's know, because we're growing, we're expanding. So no, he hasn't taken a check from me yet, ladies and gentlemen.
So guys, I think it's important that I do bring that up because I like you to know whenever I'm promoting a product that is something that I'm being paid to promote. And I'm not. I just personally, at the beginning of my career, I very early on decided that I wanted my practice to be as eco-friendly as possible. You know, I made some bad decisions there. We started off using the reusable cloth bags.
Reusable cloth recyclable bags, and you would put the sterilization.
But they look so horrible so quickly. So we ended up doing a biodegradable plastic eventually, but it was. It really was something I was passionate about. There's actually an organization out of California called the Eco Dental Organization.
And they're located in Berkeley, California.
Yep, you can get your practice certified. So we were actually eco certified whenever I first opened up.
There you go.
Ecologically safe solvents and cleaning solutions, and you know,
ultrasonics, all of it. Yeah,
we only have one world, and you know, a lot of people out there, they really get on the biological dentists about some of the things that they say. And I'll say that there's definitely some things that are not supported by science that are out there, but just being kind to the planet, because, you know, my favorite people live here, you know?
You know, really, if you really think about it, the other day, I was about to dry my hands with the paper towel. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, just use a towel, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then the thing is that I've researched plastics a lot. We can't totally get rid of them. Plastics have saved meat waste by like 60% around the world. You know, it is a great product. We've just overused it. And the reason why we've overused it, it's cheap. You know, our brushes cost a little bit more than what you've paid for those brushes. But, you know, what a lot of patients don't understand is that little toothpaste, that little floss, and that little brush that we're giving out, you're paying for it, doc. I have to go online and order that brush. It's about $2 a brush, you know. Then I have to go online and order those little toothpastes that we pass out. And then even those little floss, the doc just says, hey, David, go ahead and order, we need samples and giveaways, but they're not free. Every once in a while, Crest will throw in some floss if you buy a bundle, but we're paying for plastic. You're paying to give out bad products.
David, do you have a gift card that dentists can purchase to give out to patients at the end of their appointment, rather than, handing them a bag with some plastic brushes and a plastic bag and some plastic containers of floss?
So did you mean like a gift card for the patient to be able to grab products? So what we did is that also noticed that something was missing from the dental field, and that is a retail component. And the number one person that loves the retail component, and I'm going to give you the information from the inside, is your hygienist. Your hygienist wants to be able to recommend those products. And if they're great at it, they want to be able to make a little bit of money off of it.
Right.
Who also should get a 1% every time they charge something? Probably your receptionist. The receptionist is probably the most undervalued person in the dental practice. Everything runs through them on the first person that comes in and the first person that leaves. So the cool thing about it is that we have been able to get the prices so low that we sell them to you in bulk. And you are able to sell them to your patients still at a relatively low price. And there's a retail component now for you. So let's say, for instance, go ahead.
So do you have some models that you've already kind of worked up so you can help dentists out there who want to implement something like this? Because obviously nobody wants Quip or whatever it is, the brush that hygienists sell, and the dentist makes no money off of that, but the warehousing space, and that's just crazy. You want it to be a fair compensation. So talk to us a little bit about that program and how you can help dentists out there to get set up for this, and how they can reach out to you, David.
Do you feel like you are wasting your time and money marketing your dental practice? The fact is, most marketing companies are not focused on your best interests. They focus on their profit. At Art of Dental Marketing, our engagements are month to month, allowing you a low risk and foundational level to build trust as we build real solutions. Right now, TBOD members can enjoy exclusive discounted pricing on our ultra-fast websites and local SEO services. Visit us online at artofdentalmarketing.com or call us at 913-214-8502.
Yeah, so if you go on the website, you go ahead, you have to you can look at anything that you like, but if you notice when you get ready to make a purchase, it will ask you to make a login. And the reason why is we want to get your license number. Excuse me. So you can put your dental license number, or you can have your hygienist put your license number. That just allows us to check and make sure that you are a licensed dentist or hygienist. And then you can go ahead and order the products. They're all sold in a box of 100. And this is for multiple reasons. The number one reason is that one of my business partners has been at the corporate level at UPS for years, 22 years to be exact. And UPS and USPS, they all offer what are called carbon offsets because the shipping is just a lot. You order a box of 25, and that's a lot of carbon footprint for that one box. We decided to put it in a box of 100. That way we keep our carbon footprint low. And when I was a hygienist, sometimes I would be in the office where there's 4 hygienists. We did the numbers. We were running through at about an average of 300 products a month, So they come in boxes of 100. They're at a wholesale cost. So let's say, for instance, you want to get some toothbrushes. They're at about $4 a brush, and they retail for $8 a brush. We have a comparison to Vocal Remin Pro. It's our nano hydroxyapatite toothpaste. Well, 90 tablets sell for about $30.
I love it. So, David, I'm going to interrupt you there. There are a lot of dentists out there who don't know about nano hydroxyapatite.
That's
I'm a huge fan. I love it. I've got a class 1 lesion. Well, okay, it's class 2 lesion, but it's a C1. So it's radiographic C1 that I've been having since dental school. But I use nano hydroxyapatite toothpaste from a company that I'm not going to mention since they're a competitor, but talk to us a little bit about that and the benefits of your patients using this product.
So there's multiple benefits of the product. We can just kind of get into the chemical component. So nano hydroxyapatite is actually a normal component that is found in your saliva. So patients always wonder, how do we remineralize our teeth? Well, there's calcium and there's biphosphate that's in your saliva. We all know about something called, the pellicle and all of these things. Saliva is our buffer, and it also has these wonderful products in it. So what we've learned is that we can take those products, that calcium phosphate, and we can put it in a nano form. When we put that on your teeth, it actually has a deeper penetration than fluoride. and it bonds a little bit better to your tooth. When that bonds to your tooth, it occludes all the dental tubules. Basically, it's trying to do the same thing, or it is doing the same thing, even a better job. The potassium nitrate and sodium fluoride are doing in a toothpaste like Sensodyne. So Sensodyne is not using the fluoride to occlude the tubules, it's using the potassium nitrate. And it's just, research shows that hydroxyapatite can occlude those dental tubules even better than potassium nitrate. Not only that, if you have a cavity that is not yet crossed into the dentin layer, it's going to remineralize that cavity a little bit better than fluoride has been proven. So, you know, you want to go ahead and be a student yourself and research this. But this is our research data. You know, I don't have an asterisk that I can put at the bottom of this podcast to give you the notes to it, but we're all students in dentistry and you can easily find this information, but it actually works better than Sensodyne when it comes to decreasing sensitivity. And studies are showing that it's outperforming fluoride when it comes to remineralization. Amazing product.
I can certainly attest to that. Like I said, I've had a lesion that's a radiographic one since dental school, and it hasn't gotten any worse. And it's, you know,
going nowhere.
Exactly. It actually, it's interesting. Whenever they begin using nanohydroxyapatite, you can actually physically see the lesion decreasing in size as long as it hasn't crossed into the dentin layer. It's an amazing product.
Yeah. So we get those to you guys for about $5 a tube, and each tube contains about 30 tablets. We're having the doctors sell 3 tubes, which would be 90 tablets. It's comparable to like a box of tube of MI paste for $30. It's costing you 15. You know, same thing for the floss. We have a vegan floss. You pay $4 for it. If you look at 30 meters of vegan floss online, it's $12 for it. So we are bringing the retail component back because we used to be the retail king of the Oral-B brush. We used to be the retail king of the Sonicare. And then what happened is they made Target, Costco, Walmart, and everybody else the retail king. So you can't sell anything in your office anymore because your patient just gets online and Googles the price and they get it cheaper. Well, we don't sell the retail products to patients, so they can't Google our products online and get them cheaper. Therefore, you now have a brand new retail component in your practice. And the retail price is right on the website. So if you buy the product, it says what you should charge retail. I think all new patients should get this bundle for free. It's your new calling card to tell your patients, hey, we are going real when we say we're going to be eco-friendly and sustainable now. We're not going to just change a couple of things and stop, because that's what happened to me. It's like we started changing a few things and then the innovators left the field. I feel like the innovators weren't from the field anyway, and that's why they left. That's the difference with me being a hygienist in creating this brand, is I'm your colleague. I'm not some product engineer that just wants to make money off of you. You know, like, we really need you guys to stop giving out plastic. And unfortunately, until someone else comes and becomes a competitor, I'm the only person that's helping you right now.
I love it. So David, talk to us a little bit about how they can get in touch with you and get started distributing these products, maybe order some from you. Do you actually have sample packages that they can order and try the products themselves? And yes. Our last question is, are these products FDA cleared? And yes. Is there anything else that you need to know about it? I know they were. So, that was one of the things that impressed me the most. Whenever I saw that you had done that from scratch, I was really impressed.
So what we did is we worked with a really great manufacturer overseas. And what this manufacturer did is that they were already a producer of a toothpaste tablet. And so what I did is I used their toothpaste tablet that was already approved, and then I just removed everything that I didn't like from it. So I was like, hey, let's remove this, let's remove that. They was like, no problem. You know, it was a white.
You used a 510K significantly similar clause.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was so similar. All I did was remove the whitening products in there, you know, was like, no, that's pretty much just abrasives. That's the reason why we don't have a charcoal tablet. We just don't like the abrasives in the dental field. We understand that the patients do, because your teeth come out, you know, nice and scrubbed. But as far as on the macro level, when we're looking in the microscope, we don't like the abrasives. So I took the whitening agents and things like that out. And they already had a pretty much a plant-based toothpaste that was the only thing that we had to remove was the whitening agent. So they had the FDA papers already for me. And then even separately, because it's plant-based, all the ingredients were already approved. So it's funny because, like, even the packaging, like, I didn't create the packaging, just no one was using it in the dental field. So it's one of those things where, you know, all the other fields were kind of beating us. They were already here. And I just decided to let's bring all of that technology to our products. You know, I didn't have to engineer anything. I just had to say, I want this on this. Like they didn't have the packages. They were putting it in boxes. And I was like, hey, let's go with these new tubes. They're very eco-friendly. They're made out of paper. You can put them in your countertop composting bin. So I basically just had them upgrade the packaging from the basic box, and same thing, I had them upgrade handles. So I didn't create anything really. So I did create some formulas. We have a new toothpaste that's coming out. I don't want to talk about the ingredients in it, but this is going to be a great one. And then we have mouthwash tablets coming out. I'm probably like 3 or 5 years ahead of what's actually on the website right now. So it's really easy. You just go on the website. The website is very intuitive. That was another thing that I wanted to do. I wanted our website to look almost like, you know, Polo or, you know, Lacoste. Most of us are used to a certain navigation and a certain quality on a website when we put our credit card in there and we spend our money. So I wanted to also give us a really nice website. You can go on there, you can put some items in your cart, and you'll notice that on your first order, you get 15% off. If you order more than one box, every box just goes to $25 off. If you refer an office, that office gets $100 off. You get reward points for every dollar you spend on our website. It's just a really great website. And then if you want to do a bulk order, just call us. If you want to do some samples, you can email us. And we really are a personal service type of practice. If you don't want to make your login, just call me. I'll make it for you, and I'll easily put the products in your cart while we're on the phone. So we are a personal service. I grew up where your service rep will say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm your rep for the area. And we say, what happened to Cindy? Oh, she's in New York now. So, you know, I'm your girl. And the dental field is used to people coming in the office and talking to us. We're used to lunch and learns. You know, we're used to, if you want us to buy your products, come and tell us about them. So we still are interested in doing the same thing. I'm in Washington right now. I go back and forth from California. If your offices are anywhere in between those, I can come into your practice personally. We are trying to hire some sales reps. Some of my hygienist friends are going to be coming aboard and helping us out. But we're the type of we're the type of business that if you call us, we just want to talk to you and walk you through like we're your service rep. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. So we're a company where you have a sales rep and you have someone you can contact and walk you through your orders.
So David, I would like to point out that you born and raised in Oakland. You had 2 choices going one way or the other. And you brought this business back to Oakland. How does it feel to be able to give back to the community like that?
You know, it feels really good. It's one of the reasons why, like, I have long hair. You know, I have piercings. I have tattoos that represent our culture. I've done murals, so I've helped do murals in Oakland and beautify our city. And it just feels great because, you know, the mentors that I had, they were drug dealers and they didn't show me anything, but they were really smart. They told me what I couldn't do, and they refused to let me do what they were doing. So that was at least a start. They're like, no, you're not doing this. We messed up. We don't really know how to guide you, but what we can do is kick you off the corner if you come up on here. You know what I mean? Like, and that was great to have some mentors to say, hey, if we catch you out here, we're pretty much going to beat you up. So you figure it out. So either go to school, and if we catch you out here, you're not going to be able to do it. So I at least had some guidance to say, hey, this is not it. This is not the way to go. Now that I'm the mentor, I can guide young people on how to follow and how to focus. You know, I have an example that I give young kids. I say, you are a replica of the universe. You were made in the image of the universe. If you're religious, you can say you were made in the image of God. So your universe, at least the galaxy that we're in, we have this solar system. And everybody out there, your energy is just like the sun. And here's something really interesting about it. If the sun just shines everywhere, at best it's warm and hot. But if you take a a magnifying glass, and you just angle it just right, and you put the right distance, that sun will actually set things on fire. And that's what we need in order to accomplish things in life. You have to focus your energy to a dot. And when you do that, things change. And that's what I did with this business. That's what I did with my career. Is I just focus my energy to a dot. I designed a website myself. People say, how can you design a website with no experience? So I just sat in front of the screen until it started to make sense, you know, and it just takes hours, it takes days, but you are a human being. And just because of that, you are given gifts, you know, even if we have, you know, some of the most brilliant people I've met in my life are autistic. right? So you say, okay, well, this person doesn't have, well, I'll tell you what, they'll spank you in math on a level that you'll never understand.
That is true.
I saw one kid, he was an autistic kid. He knew how to write like 113 different fonts from scratch in chalk. I mean, like exact. We're all given gifts, but you have to focus that gift in order to set things on fire. And I'm just so focused. Everything I touch kind of goes up in good flames, not bad flames. So,
well, David, I love I love that inspiration. I love your passion for what it is you do. And I'm glad we ran into each other. Folks, if you want to check these products out, go to www.hygyne.com. Check out some of the products, ask for some samples, use them. Like I said, they may not be your cup of tea, but if they are, you're doing something good for the world.
Absolutely. And when we look at the price, I've tried to get the price down to where it's comparable to your patient. It averages out to about like $10 a patient. And I think we can get into different conversations because we are dental providers. And we know that, there's some companies out there, some insurance companies that have not been great about raising their fees and some things like that. And I think it's just time for us to go ahead and let the patients know that sometimes you do have to help us out, so you can give it out for free for the first time. But excuse me, I don't think patients have a problem with helping you pay for a nice upgrade to your practice, which is we're going sustainable. So we have these wonderful products. If you think they're expensive, give your patient the choice. I don't think it's your choice to say it's too expensive, doc, and the reason why is because, when we're in there cleaning the teeth of the patient, we're spending 45 minutes with them, sometimes an hour. And you guys come in there for 5 minutes. We get it. You guys are on a roll and our job is to keep you rolling. But there's things that they say in that 45 minutes that they don't say to you guys in that 5. And the thing is they'll pay for the better product. So if you don't think you can afford it, I think you just have to give your patient the choice. Should we still give you this plastic? Or if it's okay if we had these other products and it cost about like $10 on your cleaning to get these wonderful products, I guarantee you they'll pick the biodegradable option. I have a thing on our website that says we need more choice in order to do more good. You have to give your patients the choice. If it doesn't work, they don't pick it up and they don't want to help you out. If you feel like they're expensive, well, then don't buy them again. We also have a money back guarantee. If your patients don't like them, you keep them. We'll refund your money. That's how much I believe in the products. We don't want to return them because once they touch their office, they're contaminated. Give them away for free. The offices that have picked the products up, they can't go back to plastic. You know why? Their patients won't let them. They're so excited that they've switched over. It's over. So I challenge you guys to don't make the decisions yourself. There's something we're supposed to give all our patients in a practice setting, and it's called autonomy, right? So there's a better product out there. If you don't give your patient the option, are you really giving your patient autonomy? Because we always tell you, hey, we can pull the tooth, we can do a root canal on the crown, we can do an implant, or we can do nothing. Your choice. So you want to give your patient the option. It's not really your decision, if you ask me as your hygienist.
I love it. Great messages. Well, guys, you have wasted another 45 minutes listening to
Have your time. We thank you.
Thank you for being here and listening to the podcast. And David, thank you so much. Again, David is the CEO and founder of HYGYNE.com, biodegradable plant-based products for your dental office.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Dear Doc podcast, your source for the business and legal questions associated with your dental practice. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dear Doc podcast on all major platforms.